Hi guys, Zahiran Rory here, co-founder of Sublime Trading, here with your daily update for the UK and US indices for Monday the 29th of June. Alright guys, hope you're well, hope you had a lovely weekend. So let's get straight into the US markets. On Friday we had a bearish end to the day. Overall though, price still very much inside the area of consolidation created by the high and the low of June. So there's no change, even though we saw bullishness last week at some point, then we saw bearishness. Ultimately we just saw price trading inside a range, inside another range. What we want is a breakout, and our stance hasn't changed. The support levels below price are still holding strong. So if you look at the S&P 500, it's trading around the daily 200 moving average, the 3000 round number, and the 50 simple moving average. That whole zonal area is holding strong. If you look at the Nasdaq, it actually pulled back a little bit further towards the previous all-time high of February, if I'm correct. If you look at the Dow Jones, it's finding support at the 50 simple moving average, and if we move to the UK stock market, it's finding support at also the 50 simple moving average and 6,000 round number. So our stance hasn't changed. What we're seeing is price movement whipsawing up and down inside a range, and this is really where we want to stand aside, apply patience and wait for breakouts. Now if you start looking at some of the stocks that we have been monitoring and we've got positions running, they're also now starting to move into a mini consolidation. So whatever's happening on the indices, it's starting to impact some of the stocks as well. Now the stocks overall are still very much bullish. It's just that price doesn't move in a straight line. Price moves, it pulls back, it moves, it pulls back, it moves, it pulls back. There's this linearity to it, and then after every move, the market consolidates. And remember, I've said it before, as we approach the summer months, price also then tends to consolidate as volume may drop off and people move away from their desk, institutional traders move away from their desk, when volume drops off, and when that happens, price moves into consolidation. It doesn't mean the market's reversing. This isn't where you want to be calling a top and looking to short the market. That's just a ludicrous stance to have. You're going against the overall trend of the market, which is bullish. So for now, price is still inside the range. We want to see how the month ends. It's likely to also end inside the range of June, and what that means is that throughout July, August, September, we want to see price move to the upside and break out. When that happens, it's very much down to the forces of the market. But for now, we just need to apply patience, let price dictate that breakout, and keep on focusing on our process, our plan, and not deviate from that. This is where the mindset, the psychology of trading comes in. So those who hold strong, those who follow the process, are the ones that are rewarded. Those who flake and start looking to change their process, particularly go down the route of day trading and short-term trading, there's just no longevity into it. So be smart, apply patience, and let price dictate that breakout. So guys, let's get into the charts. Let's catch up with price action.
So guys, if you're new to these daily updates, then I recommend starting with the recording that's pinned to the top of our Facebook page, so that you get a good understanding of what I go through in these charts. This is our 3-screen setup. We have the monthly in the top left, weekly in the top right, and our daily chart down here across the bottom. Starting with the monthly time frame on the S&P 500, we can see that June is looking like an indecision candle. That's because it's finding resistance at the high of last year. Now, a mistake that a lot of people make is to assume that an indecision candle at resistance is a guarantee that the market is going to reverse. It's a big mistake. This is just indecision. The market doesn't know what it wants to do next, but remember, the bias should always be in the direction of the long-term trend. What we want to see is price dictate a continuation or a reversal, and for now our bias is still very much bullish. Currently, price is just finding resistance, and so June has been a bit of an up and down month. It was bullish, now it's bearish. Let's see how the month ends. Ultimately, we're still waiting for the high of last year to be cleared. On the weekly, price above the 200 moving average and the 50 simple moving average. We can see last week was bearish. In fact, the week before was bullish. Price came back to the 50 simple moving average last week, and we can see this week price is bouncing off that level. Come down to the daily time frame, and we can see Friday's bearish bar, which closed just below the 200 moving average, but below that is a 3000 round number and the 50 simple moving average. And we can see so far today it's been a bullish start to Monday and a bullish start to the week. Ultimately, we want to see price continue to the upside. Moving across to the Nasdaq, starting with the monthly time frame, we can see that June is printing new all-time highs. However, the round number However, the round number 10,000 is acting as an area of resistance. June attempted to break through it. The bears are coming and push price back down. This is expected at these battles between the bulls and the bears. They're expected at key levels of support and resistance. Again, on the weekly time frame, price above the 200 moving average and the 50 simple moving average. And if we come down to the daily time frame, price above the 200, the 50 and the 20 simple moving averages. You can see the move to the downside. Last week Friday was a bearish day. So far, price at the start of play today and the start of the week, we're seeing a bullish Monday so far, and that's because price is finding support at the previous all-time high of February. If we move to the Dow Jones, starting with the monthly, again we can see an indecision candle for the month of June. On the weekly time frame, price above the 200 moving average, but finding resistance at the 50 simple moving average. We can see last week was a bearish week. So far this week it's been bullish, and we can see in more detail that price is below the 200 and the 20 simple moving averages. The pullback has taken price to the 50 simple moving average. Friday's bar was a bearish bar. It's finding supports at the 50 simple moving average. So far today has been bullish. So again, what we want to see is this momentum to the upside across the board and a breakout above the high of June to suggest a continuation. Moving to the S&P 500 mini, the S&P 500 mini is actually trading above the 200 simple moving average, so we want to see price close above this level and then a continuation to the upside. Next up is the Footsie 100, starting with the monthly time frame. We can see June as well finding resistance at those key levels. If we move across to the weekly, price is below the 200 and the 50 simple moving average. We can see this consolidation that price is in, and on the daily time frame we can see the consolidation in more detail. Price is below the 200 moving average, below the 20 where it's currently finding resistance, but finding support at the 50 simple moving average and the 6,000 round number. So price is working its way back up, ultimately still waiting for a breakout above the high of June and a move through the 200 simple moving average to suggest a continuation. So for now, our stance is overall still bullish across the board. We just need to apply patience and let price dictate these breakouts to the upside. So guys, that's me for today. Please like, comment and share. Let's get people understanding how to use these indices correctly to build a solid investment portfolio, and I will be back tomorrow for the next daily update.